Hello, welcome to another episode of Seen by Few.
Yeah.
This time we're doing a holiday special. Do you know what holiday it is?
Arbor Day?
It's Arbor Day,
Yeah.
the oft celebrated holiday of Arbor Day.
I mean, a lot of people don't have the bravery or the cojones to do a special on Arbor Day.
The chutzpah.
The chutzpah. But we do.
I know. We were talking about holidays that were coming up this month. I'm like, when's Arbor Day? Because I had an idea for a movie, and then I'm like, well, rather than that movie, we can save that one for later. Let's do Troll 2 instead.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there were going to be like a couple of other movies that you would have suggested first. And then you did Troll 2, and then I tried to talk you out of it with like the Don Cheadle Captain Planet Funny or Die skit.
Everyone's a tree.
Yeah.
Everyone's a tree.
And I also tried to talk you out of it with The Happening, but then I thought about it and was like, I don't want to watch The Happening again.
Well, it was Arbor Day coming up, and I'm like, it would be a funny Arbor Day movie, The Happening. But then I'm like, we could save The Happening for another time. For maybe next Arbor Day. Because it's definitely an Arbor Day movie. When the trees are coming to get you.
Yeah, let's do it. Actually, instead of doing it for Arbor Day, let's do it for Mark Wahlberg's birthday.
Ooh.
That's definitely
The national holiday.
Yeah, that's definitely a holiday. So
We'll consider it.
Okay, yeah.
So, Troll 2 is the movie we decided to watch for Arbor Day. Why would we watch Troll 2 on Arbor Day? It's because people get turned into trees.
Yeah.
And it's very green.
Yeah.
And celebrating Arbor Day is all about being green.
Yeah, and there's a serious lack of trolls in this movie. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, so it's called Troll 2. It's, first of all, not a sequel.
Not a sequel.
Second of all, not a troll in this goddamn thing.
No, nowhere near.
Full of goblins.
I mean, they should have. Well, that's spoiler talk, so we'll save that. But
So we're going to talk about the movie. Like, just first of all, like, this movie is famous for being, or I guess infamous for being one of the worst movies ever. And that's why people watch it. It's kind of like why you'd watch The Room or something like that.
people think this movie's bad. Oh my god! Sorry.
So the memes come from somewhere, and that's here.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing this movie definitely did right, it was getting the memosphere, like, right where it needed to be.
Yeah, it's definitely got the movie memes where you could kind of make quotes to other movie people in the know. And I think at this point in time, I don't think this movie is very niche. It's kind of blown up. You're not getting like, it's like The Room. Like, if you're like, man, I really like The Room, no one's gonna be like, I've never heard of The Room. Everyone's heard of The Room.
Well, yeah, it's like there's a celebration going on right now where it's like everybody's going back and finding everything that's terrible, and then just kind of like lifting it up. It's like literally getting the least popular kid in high school and being like, hey, you're prom king, and like, it's super sad at the same time, but it's good that they're getting exposure. It's weird.
If there's one thing this movie is good for, it's to prove that anyone can make a movie.
That is very true. Yeah, ooh.
You don't need actors in it.
So I don't know how much you looked into it, but did you know how much money they got to make this movie?
I did not look that up.
Would you care to guess?
I'm gonna go with 15,000.
You'd be way off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, how much?
Take one more guess.
Okay, if that's too small, I'm gonna go with 6 million.
That's way too okay. So
It's yeah.
Yeah. No.
We go the extremes.
So it was 100,000. They got 100,000 to do this movie, and I'm gonna guess it's for that guy's hat. That guy's hat is fucking jaunty as hell.
I mean, the opening scene where he's wearing that Robin Hood hat.
Yeah, it's got to be all in that hat, or at least. Well, okay, so again, we're going into spoiler territory because
We're going to talk about this entire video is talking about the movie. So if for some reason you don't want Troll 2 spoiled for you, get ready for it. We're just going to talk about the movie.
if we spoil Troll 2 for you and you get upset, seriously, go fuck yourself. This movie is bad.
Yes. So in the talk of ratings, this one's kind of hard. Because, I mean, as an actual movie, I think is how we have to rate it. It's not how much fun we had sitting next to each other riffing on this movie.
Well, see, now I need to reassess what I picked because, like,
Yeah, that's where I think that's where I'm going to put it.
okay, I mean that's fair.
I'm going to rate it as I view it as a movie, not as how fun it is. Although I'll give that rating too, I guess.
See, I gotta do something here. With that said, You know what? I can't find it. Fuck it. I'll just stick with what I picked initially. But okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
So it's kind of like So my rating is, if you're going to sit down and watch this like as a movie, it's like a 3, because there's some stuff in it that, so there's some stuff in it that is like funny, not intentionally. But if you're watching it on your own, you might get a chuckle a couple times. But overall, the acting awful.
I mean, that's generous to say that. Like, you might get a chuckle because like there wasn't anything that was really funny in this movie. It was just. I feel like they had to have had like 1 or 2 really good actors, and the director's like, no. So the what was the one Whitest Kid You Know skit? Say it happier and with your mouth open.
What's louder and with your mouth open.
Like I feel like there had to have been like 1 or 2 good actors in this movie, and the director's like, no, you have to act like everybody else, and they're like, okay, got it.
So I don't remember what the character's name was, but the Nilbog Queen, she was kind of funny.
I thought she was the best part of the movie. So her name is Deborah Reed, and you'll know her from such other amazing films as Dumb and Dumber. Oh. She was in the makeup department.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a makeup artist.
Which would explain why her makeup was pretty good.
Yeah. So she was in the new... Oh, no, this looks like Gary Sinise. So apparently she was in Stephen King's The Stand that had like Gary Sinise in it. 94. So, and she was wife kissing soldier or something like that. So, I mean, she's still working, kinda, but like she was, in my opinion, she was like the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like she, but we'll get to that. So, if I was to have to give my rating of this movie,
that's it.
I give this a solid Lance 2.
Look at that.
Boom.
I got a 2.
Yeah. So
we did that.
Yeah, we fucking nailed it this week. But yeah, it was just. I think my favorite part of the movie is when I started to fall asleep, and then somebody said something and I woke up. But no, the chick that played the Goblin Queen, like she was so over the top. Like she was actually, she had like the potential to be a good actress.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a certain genre in which she'd fit in. And it's probably cheesy, over-the-top movies like Phil 2.
B-rated Scream Queen movies. Mm. I think she would have been like right there in that niche. Like anything that our buddy Aaron watches, I think that she would be very comfortable in any of those movies. And she'd probably blow the fucking socks off of everybody else in those movies too, because he watches.
I thought you were going to say she was really going to blow the corn.
I guess we're in spoiler territory at this point.
We're the entire video. We're talking about the movie.
Yeah, no, yeah, she. Yeah, no, you nailed it. Yeah, it was just bad, man. Like, I get it. There are people who like watching this stuff, and I've always.
I do like watching bad movies on occasion.
If I would have had to have watched this without you coming over to watch this with me. Mm-hmm. This movie would have gotten a 1 or a 0. Probably because I would have fallen asleep halfway through it, and then Amber would have been like, "What'd you think?" And I'd be like, "Fuck, credits. It was okay." But yeah, just when you come over to watch certain movies and we have a good time, like ripping it to fucking shreds or just saying funny little banter, that makes the movie better for me. So, and I know you said that we were just rating it.
Well, that's me. That's how I was going to rate it as an actual movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like it was just okay. But like, I think the funnest part of the movie was like the fucking teenage kids were like, "Oh, let's go and like find this thing," and they're like, "Don't worry about your buddies."
Yeah,
who've been missing for 2 days.
You got an RV with 4 kids, and then one of them like leaves to like go find chicks. I don't even know. He heard a girl run, like screaming, so he went to chase her down.
Yeah.
So first of all, your friend's chasing someone who's screaming, and then like he doesn't come back that night.
That's problematic.
So you and your boy get naked and sleep in a bed.
Yeah.
And wake up in the morning and don't even mention where your other friend went.
Yeah, and there's no room for the Lord between those two at all. No, they were right up against each other.
So then your other friend goes into town to get some food, and he never comes back, so...
Yeah.
Don't question that either.
No, and somehow he found the house where his buddy was turning into a tree, or Baraka from the fucking X-Men movie. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, he's turning into Groot.
Yes.
This was before times.
And that was like the best effect of the movie. It was like the guy pulling the fucking thing off his mouth, and then all the shit pouring out of his mouth whenever I that part happened. I was like, okay, all right, not bad. But it's like, I have a feeling the one thing that they were like, okay, this is going to be a gory movie, right? So the one thing we need is just constant stuff coming out of people's mouths.
Yeah, and
So-
it's better be green.
Yeah, or blue. It looked kind of bluish. The stuff that was, and I think they were trying to go for like green and red. You know, I don't know what color that makes. I don't know my color spectrum very well, but like,
I think green and red make brown, don't they? Maybe it just makes a red or green. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but it looked bluish. But yeah, no, it was, I guess it was chlorophyll, or maybe it was because his blood was starting to turn into chlorophyll. I don't know. But that's what it was, right? Chlorophyll.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So it's I guess the quick synopsis is, for some reason, kid sees his dead grandfather. Way to go. His dad decides we're going to be farmers in Nilbog. So they go visit Nilbog, and it's full of fucking goblins. And
it's a house exchange.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to come and live in somebody's house in Millbog, and the people in Millbog are going to go and live in their house. And, like, okay, please continue.
And so this Nilbog is full of goblins, as it turns out. And goblins need to feed people tainted food that turns them into chlorophyll so that they can eat him, because the trolls are vegetarians. But they want to eat people for some reason. Like, you can't just go eat a plant. You got to eat a person that's been turned into a plant.
I mean, if the food's that good, you don't have to really kind of, like, keep ham-fisting it down their throat. Like,
I know.
There's nothing to fucking eat in that town. You just wait for a day or two, and they'll eat.
So, like, one of the quickest ways to make me not want to eat your food is to be carrying it over while everyone's standing around me clapping.
Yeah.
Being like, eat this food, eat it, eat it.
And even then, that part was super uncomfortable because it was like almost a full 2 minutes of like someone like, and people just like
clapping like
yeah, right,
next to your face.
and the actors are like,
like, what are we supposed to eat this food?
yeah, and the director's like, we need more B-roll of you sitting there and smiling, more, okay, and more. Can we get more?
still more.
Yeah. Ugh.
So this was a 30-minute idea that they stretched to an hour and a half.
Easily.
Because there's a lot of stretching shots in this one.
Well, it's like every time there's a transition scene where a character's going from one area to another, it's like they had to record like every fucking corner.
We've got to see it.
Yeah, it's and like all the stuff was just long and drawn out. Watching the girl work out in the beginning, her dancing in the mirror or whatever. I like that.
Them driving to Nobok, you got to see that entire car trip.
I'm so glad we didn't spend money to rent that movie.
I know.
You could find it on YouTube, and be grateful that you watch it there.
Yeah, don't spend money on this.
Yeah, if it comes on TV, it's on Pluto. If you don't mind watching 10 minutes of movie and then 10 minutes of commercial and then 7 minutes movie and then 10 minutes of commercial,
yeah, that was pretty bad.
But yeah, you don't get to pick next Arbor Day.
Next Arbor Day is the happening.
Yeah, so that's happening.
It should.
Okay, all right. So
it was happening this Arbor Day or next Arbor Day. I don't know if there's other tree movies. There's got to be more tree movies.
So there was a movie. I don't know what it's called, but it was specifically about a tree nymph that was like fucking with people in a house.
Okay.
So it's like a dryad, and I know it was a horror movie because Amber and I went and saw it in the theater, and it was bad, but it wasn't. It wasn't this bad.
It wasn't Troll 2 bad.
No, but it was still like. I remember Amber and I walking out of the movie like. So was there really any scary parts of that movie? And she was like, there was a lot of jump scares, and it was like, okay, so it was jump scare the movie. Got it. And that spoiler for next year if you remember it. Yeah, but
for whatever tree movie we ended up picking, I was just trying to think of tree movies, and Happen was the first. Troll 2 was the second.
We do Poltergeist.
What's that to do with trees?
The tree reaches through and like starts eating the kid.
Yeah, it's like a scene.
Yeah, it's tree though.
It's a tree. One tree scene.
We knew Lord of the Rings.
There's a bunch of trees walking in that movie.
A lot.
But then when you compare a tree to movie size, it's only like a little chunk.
Oh, okay. So you can't say that because literally this movie had one kid turning into a tree. His combined scene time was like 5 minutes. The rest were chlorophyll puddles.
The theme was turning people into chlorophyll so they could be eaten. And plus, in her house, there was potted plants everywhere.
but not trees.
Arbor Day is more than just trees. Arbor Day is about the spirit of. I have no idea what Arbor Day is
I
about.
think Arbor Day. Now this is just this is just out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure Arbor Day is about like planting trees.
Yeah. See, look, they're planting trees. In people, so that they could turn into trees and eat them.
I'm sorry. I usually agree with you on most things, but I cannot go with you on this one.
It was a stretch, but I thought it would be funny.
Yeah, no.
And it was funny.
It was. I think, like I said, if you wouldn't have come over and watched it with me, I don't know. Like, my wife literally, like, the entire time we're watching the movie is just like, okay. And then, like, the last 20 minutes of the movie, she's like, you know what? I'm out.
Gonna go do dishes.
I'd rather go do dishes than watch this movie. I think she did have a better time. But, yeah, it was okay. The acting was super, super bad.
Yep.
The storyline was pretty bad.
Yep.
They missed like a major opportunity of like when the the
Goblins.
goblin.
Yeah, no trolls in this movie.
When the goblin talked, it could have been like, "Our queen wants us back," but instead it was like, "Our queen wants us back, Roger.
Yeah.
We must go." Okay, nobody even tried.
Yep. There was also the kid that was turning into the tree. It's like, hey man, pull me out. Like, get me out of here while he's in the potted plant. Like,
Hurry up.
Hey dude, can you let me get out of here? He's like, oh, don't sound scared or anything.
Remember, you're still frozen. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, get me out of here, man. Thanks, dude.
Watch my Susan Haas impersonation. That's deep cut. Somebody out there's laughing. Somebody is out there laughing. Nobody's out there laughing.
I'll take your word for it, I guess.
Well, I'll show you what I'm talking about after this.
So, I mean, for as bad as this movie was, I didn't find it boring, which I think boring movies are the worst. Because boring movies, you don't have jokes to bounce off of. Like the scene in which Goblin Queen is like gobbling on some corn with that kid, and then popcorn starts getting thrown at them. That's funny.
Yeah, but like, what was the point?
No point.
Well, he didn't die. He didn't turn into a tree, as far as we know.
We don't know. We couldn't see him under all that popcorn.
And then like kid that was getting sick. Like, what happened to him?
I think it got blended into goo.
Well, she like smacked him into the bed.
Yeah, and then like force fed him like blended other kid. I think. I don't know.
But then like that was it.
Yeah.
Like there was nowhere mention of him.
Yeah. Who cares?
The other two kids that were hanging out in the RV, I guess they just got away.
Well, two of them. There's four, so one of them went back to the house with them because he's like, you can't have friends and a girlfriend.
Right.
If you weren't aware, you have to pick.
Sure.
So he ended up picking family, not his friends. So he left the one remaining friend. The other two were already like dead at that point.
And then you had the one who's literally still back at the RV, like
covered in popcorn.
What am I gonna eat?
Popcorn.
Green butter. Yeah, so the movie was brutal to me. Mm-hmm. The only reason I say that is because I know to me a movie is bad even when we're cracking jokes and having fun with it, I'm still like, okay, this has got to be the natural conclusion,
like,
right?
Wrap it up.
Like, let's wrap this shit up. Because I was feeling that right about the point where they went outside and like all the people were out there and then they ran back in the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we're going to hit a dramatic conclusion. And then it's like, oh, go to the stone and touch it. And I was like, fuck. Okay. Let's hopefully it's just like a quick little boop, boop, and then like it's over. But no, there was like a lot of laying on hands and talking to grandpa moments there.
I think it's noteworthy that when the pastor was like talking to the grandfather, he was talking about sending him back to hell. He said back to hell, which means grandfather's in hell.
I did not catch that.
Did you miss that part?
I must have missed that part.
Like right before after the preacher came out and snatched the Molotov from him, he's like, was yelling at the grandpa, and he's like, I'm going to send you back to hell. I'm like, okay, apparently grandpa's in hell.
Okay, so that guy could have just been talking trash.
He could have been.
I mean, because that dude was mean.
He was, but I'd believe grandpa's in hell.
I mean, he was in this movie. So, like, you know, every day he has to, like, face Satan. And Satan's like, so, what's up with that movie, man?
I don't know, I'm sorry.
I've put some pretty nasty abominations on the planet Earth, but, you.
It's like, man, here you go.
Yeah, it was, But yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I didn't give it 0.
Yeah.
But like still, like the movie started off and I was like, oh okay, and then they hit the meme, and I was like, oh okay, there's the meme, yeah. And then after that, it was just like, okay.
But like Lance, if I was about to eat food and you wanted to stop me from eating the food, and you had 30 seconds to make me stop to eat the food, what would you do?
I already told you what I'd do. I would grab the table and do the fucking ta-da.
But if you were good at it, it would all be.
Well, I mean,
perfect.
I would do the slow. Like I'd make sure my parents were unfrozen, and I'd be like,
So you just take the tablecloth, throw it like up and over.
yeah,
And just,
and then do the I'm not your friend smack
yeah. Yeah.
with all the food that's in their hand.
Because if someone is ever holding a thing, if you smack it down, you're their friend.
Right.
If you smack it up, it's in their face.
What about-
That's the double insult.
What about sideways?
Yeah, you're not really. You're kind of.
You don't care one way or the other.
You know, or you hate the person next to him. It's like if I'm holding it and I smack it that way, I don't like you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, hold on. If they're holding it down and their head's up here, are you just like? Excuse me for a second. Just so you get the headshot.
Yeah.
So since you brought Grandpa up,
Yeah.
Grandpa's name is Robert Ormsby. Mm-hmm. I'm going to read you some of the movies he's in.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep. I'm ready for it.
All right, it's right here. He's in Troll 2
Okay. Yeah, I know that movie.
and Best Worst Movie.
Oh, that's the movie about Troll 2, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, there it is. And that is the entirety. Like, this guy is so popular that most actors that have been in several movies who still have the unidentified silhouette of Head and Shoulders.
He's got a silhouette.
This guy's
Or he
got-
just- he
this
doesn't have
guy's got a
silhouette.
picture.
He's got a headshot.
This guy's headshot, it made the page.
It's gonna be very, 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 very blurry.
Yeah.
But look, he's not a silhouette.
Yeah.
Because there's some actors who are like they had a speaking role, but they're still just silhouettes on IMDb.
Well, it's like I've never seen that guy. Oh, and I just realized it was a disembodied floating head and mirror. Is what they picked.
That's a great headshot.
It is a good headshot, but like the preacher was a guy that I could have swore I knew.
He did look familiar.
Like, and Amber was like, I think he's a wrestler. And like this guy, oh my God, how did we not almost mention this fucking guy? The drugstore owner, Don Packard.
He definitely had that kind of creepy stare going down.
Yeah, like
That's all natural. No acting required.
But look at his face. Like, talk about like a dude who naturally looks like an imp. Like that dude is just
I think you mean Goblin.
yes, goblin.
No imps here.
So I mean, was there like you actually watched Best Worst Movie, right?
I did watch that one like a couple years ago, so it's kind of faded at this point in time.
So did they give any kind of explanation as to why they went with Troll 2? Was it just name recognition? Troll 2 was such a stellar fucking success that they thought they'd ride the coattails of the name?
I don't even remember why, because it's not a sequel, but there is a movie called Troll. So I think they just kind of took the movie and like, so we're just gonna call it Troll 2.
So I think Troll, if I remember correctly, or maybe I'm thinking of Cat's Eye, but like, yeah, like look, there's a fucking tree in that picture.
Oh man.
Like there's a straight up tree that was in that picture, and it's a 4.5 out of 10. Let's see if there's anybody. Noah Hathaway. I don't know who that is.
Oh, but look, he's next to the he's in a Neverending Story because that's Atreyu, isn't it?
Yeah. Or maybe that is the kid who was Atreyu. Yeah, he was fucking Atreyu. So we picked the wrong movie, Nick.
No, this is the movie. This is the famous. There's a movie about how bad this movie is. I mean,
Fucking Troll had Sonny Bono in it.
oh, I guess we'll have to watch Troll later.
That's next Arbor Day, it seems.
Well, I don't know if I can't be sure if there's trees in Troll 2. I know though or in Troll. I'd at least seen Best Worst Movie. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in Troll, huh?
Yeah. This movie is just, it got so much more intriguing to me just off that little search. Wow. Oh my God, wait, there's a troll and then there's a troll.
From
2019.
2019. Well, we're not watching that one.
Why not? It's got one person in it.
Top bill cast one person. All right, so I knew at least a little bit about Troll too because I'd seen Best Worst Movie and I'd also seen people just talk about this movie before because I watch review channels on occasion, and this is one that tends to come up as kind of like when some people talk about The Room or whatever, or just other bad movies, they'll talk about this one. So I've kind of picked up through osmosis. but I'd never actually sat and watched Troll 2 myself. And I'm like, if we're gonna be talking about shit movies, it's time. Let's watch Troll 2. We'll get it out of our system. Well. Now we can talk about how bad it is because we've experienced it.
Yeah, but now we can actually officially say we watched the movie that the fucking meme has come from, because that's the only thing I knew from that movie was, and I didn't even know it was Troll 2. It's just everyone has seen the "It ain't her, now they're gonna eat me." Oh my god!
Yeah. I knew a couple things like I remember him pissing on the food, and I know we're gonna have to tighten my belt loop to stave off the hunger pangs. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
I have a feeling that was a director's commentary on something. Like, just, ugh. I see where you were taking me when you asked me how I would have stopped them in 30 seconds. Yeah, I would have shit on the table.
Yes.
Like, right in the middle of the table.
That would have done it.
And then when
peeing on the table would have done it too.
And then when they came out of like the whole thing, I would have just been in the middle of the table like,
deuces.
Yay! So I guarantee you that would have made people stop eating right then.
Yeah, because I mean, if I'm like eating something delicious, you knock it to the floor, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna keep eating.
Yeah, that's what we watch next year.
Troll Hunter. No, we need tree movies, Lance.
That's
the happening. Stop looking at IMDb.
Okay, sorry. Wait a minute. If you know of any good tree movies,
yeah, let us know.
Yeah, we're gonna let them pick it, and I swear to God, if y'all pick The Happening, you're gonna pick The Happening.
Well, the people in the comments are gonna be Amber and Tim, who are gonna pick The Happening.
You guys suck. Yeah, it's just give us some tree movies down in the or any good Arbor Day movies. Like, is there literally a movie called Arbor Day? I don't know.
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day.
I've never seen that movie either.
What is that movie?
I don't remember the name of it, but it's...
Was it Trash Day? Is that what he says?
It says Garbage Day.
Garbage Day. Okay, hold on.
But I've seen people talk about that movie before too, and it's
Garbage Day movie.
Here are some results.
She fucking found it. Boom. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
2. Yeah, that's the one.
So there we go. I think that's about trees.
No, that sounds like a Christmas movie to me.
Ooh.
You doomed yourself. Because we could watch a bunch of watch a bunch of bad Christmas movies.
You know what movie?
Santa Claus.
Ooh, Krampus.
Yeah. It's well. I want to pick stupid movies for holidays. And then occasionally movies that are good.
I would if I could, bitch.
I found this on the web.
I love the internet. It finds the best stuff. All you have to do is...
Oh, yeah, I remember that scene.
I would if I could. Bitch.
What movie?
I just remember he's like, I want to fuck you in the ass. And she was like, screw yourself in your own ass, asshole. And he's like, I would if I could. Bitch. Yeah. And that dude is a dude that I recognize. The movie's called Whore.
Oh.
Michael Crabtree as Man in Car. Whew, God. That dude, I bet he felt like he was on top of the fucking world when he got that credit.
So I'm looking at IMDb.
No, I played Hamlet in the Park, and I got my first major movie role as Man in Car.
So, Troll 2. It's one of those movies that's just kind of popular for being a bad movie. And I don't know is there a reason to see it? Maybe. Like if you're around with a bunch of friends and you want to... I would think it'd be kind of like... Yeah. I think it'd be kind of like along the veins of The Room, where people go to the theater and kind of view it as an experience. I think that would be maybe a place to do it, where you could get with a bunch of people and pretend to be ironically in love with this movie.
Now that you say that, I bet there are a dedicated small group of people who fucking love this movie that have callbacks for it all the way through. I bet there is.
I mean, I think it's one of those movies that people go to the theater to like joint rip on.
I mean, is it though? I mean, it's just, oh God. It's like I didn't want to go watch The Room. Like I did not want to go see that movie, and a buddy of mine picked up a ticket for it and was like, let's just go watch it. And then we went and saw it, and it was delightful. Not for the movie.
Nope.
It was for the dudes who knew every single callback, and that was a ton of fun. So, like, if that ever comes back, you're going with us. Like, we're going to go see that shit.
Maybe.
No, you're going because I think you'll fucking those guys have got to show up again.
Maybe.
So
I don't like being surrounded by people.
yeah, I get it, but like it's just there was maybe 20 people in the theater.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was in a large theater, so like it was me, Tim, and Dan, and then there was like the 5 dudes who were riffing on the movie, and then there was like 2 people, and then like 3 people, and then like 4 people. So like the theater was like pretty spread out. So
I mean, that's another movie I've missed, but I did watch the movie about that movie, the one with James Franco.
Franco, yeah.
Disaster Artist.
Yes. So I did watch that movie, and that movie was actually pretty good.
It was pretty funny.
It's too bad he's a pariah now because he was actually pretty good in that movie. But then again,
he's always been kind of weird.
Yeah, but I mean, think of, like his best friend for the longest time was Seth Rogen, and that dude's also pretty weird too. So,
Yeah.
you know, like their weirdness worked well together. Like, did you ever see the movie where they were in North Korea?
No, I skipped that one.
It wasn't very good.
It didn't look very good.
But it's still, like, I went and saw that one in the theater, and it had a couple of parts that were funny. Man, I got the worst case of stank dick last night. I don't have stink dick. He had stink dick. Like, that was, like, the only part that was really funny, but it was, like, completely random and out of left field. And then it did have certain commentaries about, I guess, what really happens in North Korea. But, like, other than that, the movie was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So
I think it got press off of the fact that it was about North Korea, and Sony was like, they're going to do something bad. We got to pull the movie.
yeah, I remember that too. Like a week before that happening, I think they were actually talking about like, did the movie like get delayed? And then when it came out, they were actually talking about like yanking it.
I think it did get pulled or something, or never released or something like that. And it went like straight to streaming or something silly like that.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Been a long time ago, but yeah, Nick.
The controversy wasn't enough to make me want to see it.
It always is. That bad press is always enough to get people in the seats. But so Nick,
Yes.
would you recognize? Would
Would I recognize Troll 2? I would.
Would you recognize a tree in the movie Troll 2?
Oh my god.
Would you recommend Troll 2 to someone?
As like a sit down and watch it movie, no. Like you and your bunch of your friends are gonna get together and just riff tracks a movie essentially. It's could be fun for that. I think there's enough stupid shit in here that is quotable. Like early on in the movie when like the kid gets the ladder and climbs into his girlfriend's window or whatever, and she like kicks him in the dick. And he's like, "What are you trying to do? Turn me into a homo?" I'm like, "What the fuck is this? Why is this in a movie?" And it made me laugh off of the absurdity of it.
It's a product of its time.
Yeah. And you know, awful people.
Yeah, it. I guess I would have given it something more if there was just like an accidental good acting moment in the movie. But like I don't know if it's the director's fault or what, but it's like watching the kid at the second half of the movie where he's like trying to like save everybody and like watching his face. It's like he was doing like maximum acting face the entire time. Like the parents are like, "What are we gonna do?" And like the kid's just sitting at the bottom of the frame going.
Well, I imagine that's probably director off to the side being like, "I need to see the emotion on your face."
Yeah, more anguish. So it's just like
More anguish, more.
but it was just painful to watch. If it would have had like some accidental good acting, and like the other thing that really made me laugh, but not really, was the "Grandpa, you're here." The grandpa went, and it like stayed on his smiling face for like a whole like 5 seconds.
I think this is the product of when you got a person who's not really a director with a bunch of people who aren't really actors, and you make a movie. Which I mean, he might have been. I don't know much about this director, other than the fact that he's like Italian or something like that.
Well, you said that he gets mad that people think it's funny.
I think he thought he made a good movie, and that's one of the things I remember from Best Worst movie is that like they got a bunch of the actual actors in that movie to go and see a viewing of it, and then kind of afterwards did like a Q&A or whatever where they just kind of talk about the movie, and like essentially the rest of the actors kind of like know like, oh, this is stupid, like we were in a bad movie, and we thought we were doing something cool. We were trying our best, but we just made a bad movie. And they're kind of acknowledging the fact that like, yeah, it's not very good. And then I think the director was just kind of like pissed that like all these people came and laughed at his movie. It's a horror movie. It's not a comedy movie. Why are they laughing at his movie? And I don't think he has eyes.
It's us dumb Americans. We're so desensitized to horror. And it's like, do you see what they did to trees in this movie? They were eating handfuls of chlorophyll, for Christ's sakes.
They turned like 2 or 3 people into chlorophyll and ate them. It's horrible.
The real horror about Troll 2 are the trolls never came, Nick. The trolls never came.
Only goblins.
And even that, like, oh my God. Like, how bad was that? The name of the city was just Goblin.
Oh, Nilbog.
Nilbog was just Goblin backwards, and it was just kind of like...
So I'm sure one person was like, oh. But, you know, for people who play D&D, where the Nilbog is a reverse goblin, and you have to, like, heal it to kill it, and doing damage actually heals it. It's a reverse goblin, and it's got all these stupid... It's like, we've known Nilbog backwards as goblin for a very
I haven't
long time.
fought one in a D&D game in quite some time.
I don't know that they made it to 3.5. I think they're a product of AD&D and, like...
2.0?
You know, it's like back in the day when the DM's like, man, my party deals too much damage. But what if damage heal? And then the Nilbog was born.
But, like, if it's already at, like, maximum hit points when it walks out and you slash it and you heal it more? Like,
I think it gives it hit points or something. I don't remember. I never actually fought
does it grow extra arms and, like, mouths and shit or something? How do you overheal something?
I don't know. On the positive energy play, when you overheal, you explode.
Say down in the comments if you play a lot of D&D and you know what happens when you overheal a Nilbog.
Yeah, I've never fought a Nilbog.
Yeah,
I've only heard them as kind of like a flump. It's not one of those monsters you use. It's just one of those things that you're kind of like, flumps, yeah.
It's a funny thing to point at and go,
Yeah, like you turn it over and it's helpless.
Yeah, it's just... The movie was just bad.
Yes.
It wasn't...
So would you recommend it to people?
You know, if I found friends that I wasn't crazy about and I knew they were going to drop LSD that night, I'd been like, Troll 2. Just because I know it would like take them to a bad place.
Yeah, probably. I think this is a bad trip movie.
Yeah. No, I would recommend it to people who are bad movie enthusiasts.
Yeah.
If you like movies where it just looks like they're not trying very hard, this is... I've never watched Sharknado, but I imagine Sharknado would be like in the same vein as this movie, because it just sounds like they don't try very hard.
I was saying this is like the cheesy sci-fi movies where like Tim and I would just come up with stupid names and try to.
My Dear Vampire.
Yeah, what's My Dearest Vampire?
Yes.
Where the vampire is a musketeer because they've got fangs. Still, I imagine that like a scene in which someone goes out on the porch, like, "Oh, I thought I heard something." Would you go outside and check? And he walks out of the porch. It's like, "I don't hear anything," and you see a flash, like it's like a cheesy deer goes by, and the dude's head just like rolls back and blood pours.
How do you have any time to drink anything? I mean,
he's a deer vampire. He goes super quick. He's kind of like in and out.
If y'all ever
Like
make this movie, please just let me have a small role.
I'm never gonna make that movie.
Come on.
I'm not a writer. I'm not a director. I'm not an actor. I know that about me. I'm not going to be in a Troll 2.
Even if the movie was just 1 hour, Nick, it's still going to be a powerhouse compared to what we just watched.
If it's an hour, it looks like we're going to stretch it with some car shots and going down the stairs shots.
Walking in and out of the house shots, or up and down the stairs shots. That was the other part that I thought was funny. Was thank you for saying that, because when they were running from the things outside of the house and they went up the stairs, and like the stairs were on one side of the house, and they go like walking up, and then they're walking down the hall towards the camera away from the stairs, and like one of the goblins jumps out and is like, man, the dude's like, he hits it a couple of times and then he throws it down the stairs, and I was like, did he just like fucking like lift the dude up and like run down the fucking hallway and throw him down the fucking stairs, or did the director just forget where the stairs were for that shot?
Probably just reuse the scene from the stairs falling down.
Yeah, I mean, what are we going to do to him? You're going to throw him on the ground and kick him? Or Brian didn't tumble down those stairs by accident for nothing. Let's use that shot. Okay, sure. Because even that looked bad. Because the dude, like when he goes down the bottom of the stairs, I don't know if you noticed it, but it looked like he jammed his fucking hand up on the door.
Looks like he went down like 2 stairs, got jammed, and stuck on the stairwell.
Yeah, and then I think he did like the shoulder thing where it's like,
keep falling, keep falling. All right, stop. I'm stuck.
But yeah, I would recommend the movie to like Aaron.
Yeah, people who like bad movies.
Tim, Like people like that, they just love watching bad movies because they get joy out of them. But like, I honestly can feel time slipping away from me the further and further that we go, and it's like I really felt like me and you played a practical joke. I think this was the first Have You Seen, even though this is a holiday special,
holiday special.
where we basically were just like, we're gonna watch something that we know. I think we both knew we were walking into something terrible.
Oh yeah, I didn't go into this expecting like, oh man, this is gonna be a hidden gem. No, it's gonna be a piece of shit, and that's kind of the point: is to sit down, watch it, and rip on it.
Yeah, it's just there's not much to say. Like
Most of the good parts have been clipped and put on YouTube. Like if you just want to get an idea of like what's going on in this movie, look for a highlight reel. If you don't want to sit through this movie, if you can condense it into 5 minutes, you'll have gotten the gist of it.
Yeah. The only reason to watch the movie was the Goblin Queen.
Yeah, she.
Because that lady,
I enjoyed her.
yeah, she's over the top, like talking and the way she would talk to people, and I'm acting bad, but at least it's
Interesting.
Like she was at least like it was fun watching her.
Yeah.
And then the corn part.
Yeah.
That part was good.
Really popped your kernel, huh?
Yeah, it really did. It really shucked my corn cob, but that part was good. But the rest of the movie was just straight trash. So, do you have anything more that you would like to say about the most untrolliest Troll 2 movie ever?
I mean, no. I think that's about it. I think we've done I think we've put more thought in 40 minutes.
Wow, that is way more than I thought we'd get.
Sure.
Okay.
Who couldn't talk about Troll 2?
And there wasn't even a lot of tangents in this one.
Yeah, there's a few, but not a lot.
Yeah, but 42 minutes. Look at that, Nick.
I know, right?
Holy shit.
So I guess this is the last holiday special of April, but we've got at least 2 holidays coming up in May, in addition to just our regular Monday stuff. So stay tuned.
Do we want to tell them what we're doing?
I don't know. Do we want to
Maybe it will entice them enough to come back.
Do we want to leave it surprises, or do we want to pull in at least one nuggets?
Let's say one.
Okay.
You pick.
So May the 4th. I mean, for the Boba Fett video, we just wanted to talk about Star Wars. We should just talk about Star Wars on May 4th.
So we're going to do episode 4.
Just episode 4.
Yes. And that way, we're doing something that we know people like.
Yep.
We're going middle of the road. We're not going to the prequels that people were like, it's not as bad after they saw the sequels.
Well, I feel, because people talk about like the machete order and stuff like that. I still think you go release order, because that's the order in which you get like the special effects and kind of like you get this kind of lightsaber fighting. And if you go from episode 3 to episode 4, you're going to be like, that's lightsaber fighting, huh? It's like, dude, we got old.
Well, yeah. I think that was the worst part of those movies. Is like we did 4, 5, and 6, and the movies are great. They're awesome movies. Then you go to episode 1, and you see like Darth Maul and fucking Obi-Wan fight, and you're like, holy shit!
Yeah, this is
like
shit back in the day.
Was sword fighting just a lost art by the time we got around to like old Kenobi and old Darth Vader? Because there's like so much expanded stuff in the Star Wars universe now, where they like have like katas for their fucking lightsaber styles and everything like that. When I don't think that existed back in the day.
Not during the movies. I think it was filled in during expanded content. Well, again, we could say this stuff for May the 4th.
I almost had him for a tangent.
No.
But,
all right. So I think that's enough for Troll 2, right?
well, let's at least tell them what the other holiday we're going to do is.
I'm sure we can tell them what holiday it is, because I don't think we've picked out a movie per se.
Nope.
But we're thinking of Memorial Day as picking something out.
And we're hemming and hawing on that, and that's where you come in. So why don't you say down in the comments what you would like to see us watch for Memorial Day?
I mean, we've got an idea. We want to throw out the idea and see if people have other ideas.
So there was 2 we were kind of workshopping, and I think one of them was Saving Private Ryan, and the other one was
I don't think there was a second one.
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd rather do Saving Private Ryan.
Really?
Out of those 2, I don't like Tarantino really.
Inglourious Bastards is a funny movie. It's not bad.
I wasn't impressed. But pretty much you throw anything Quentin Tarantino in front of me, I'm not going to be super impressed. There's a couple. I like Pulp Fiction's pretty good.
Reservoir Dogs?
It's okay-ish. Again, it's another movie where it's like glorified crime, and I'm not super big into glorified crime.
So you're not. So if I recommend like Godfather and stuff like that in the future.
I mean, I'll watch them and be like, yeah, I could probably recognize that they're good movies. I'm just gonna be like, okay, whatever.
All right.
That's why Road to Perdition was kind of like a whatever movie for me, where I could recognize it being good. I'm just like,
So good. Such a good movie.
all right, I think we can put a pin.
Yeah.
In Troll 2
Yeah, this movie got way more out of us than
than it deserved.
Yes.
So, thanks for joining us on another episode of Seen by Few, one of our holiday specials.
Thank you, dear viewer. Thank you.
For watching us talk about Troll 2.
Yes, and I guarantee you, anything you saw in this video, way more entertaining than that movie. Probably not, but still, like
There's I think there's a couple gems of comedy in Troll 2.
Oh my god.
Yes, that being one of them. That's why I gave it a 3 instead of like a 2 or 1, because there's a couple things in there.
What did I give it?
You gave it a 2.
2? I still think
Which
it's
it's rightly deserving of a 2. I can't fault a 2. So I've been Nick,
and I've been turned to chlorophyll.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in May.
Yeah, that. Don't go eating green donuts from people who are over happy, especially if they're clapping around you. Just don't do that shit.
Yeah, and if someone gives you a cake that's colored in green and it says "Eat me" on it, you probably don't want to eat it. If someone is like super like, no, fucking eat this, don't eat it.
I can't anymore, man. I'm just gonna go cry now.
All right, we'll end it with Lance crying. Bye, everybody.